All right, I am Tobi Tungl with AVNation Media. I'm here in Orlando, Florida for Infocomm 2023. I'm here with Andrew. Andrew, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, thanks. Yeah.
So you guys have a pretty phenomenal booth location here. So how's the traffic been on day one?
Of course, it was slow to begin with, but then it's been picking up all day. It's been really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's of course, depending on where you are in the show floor and all the big rush coming through the back here. So there's a lot of people here. It's really great to see all the people here. It is definitely cooler inside the show floor than it is outside with the humidity here, so that's great. So we've got some pretty cool stuff behind us here. Walk me through what you guys have.
Well, Macnica is all about open standards, and we make components and technology that enable people to add open standard transport AV over IP into their products. So we're huge believers in IPMX. We've been, leading the IPMX charge since the beginning. We at Macnica, we launched IPMX with AIMS in 2020, and then COVID torpedoed all of that, and so we're really excited to be here now and to see where it's evolved since then. What we've done in our booth is we've really focused on trying to give people a sense of the power and the flexibility and the vision of what a truly interoperable AV over IP looks like, right? So what does that mean in practicality? We can look at the demo here, I can show you. We have a very simple situation here. We've got a computer, standard computer, playing video out, and we can see the direct video out here, and we're streaming out of this box and into a standard PC. Now that standard PC has two different examples going on at the same time. It's got an accelerated SmartNIC card that's able to process uncompressed video, multiple uncompressed video streams internally with zero CPU usage. And then we're also using the standard NIC card that's using a software receiver on it to actually receive this content, right? So we're showing both hardware accelerated and software. And so if you look over here in this middle monitor, what we've got is basically Open Broadcast Studio, or OBS, right? So OBS is taking our 4K 60 stream here from this desktop computer, and it's also taking two SMPTE 2110 camera feeds, and you can see those here. There's you, there's me, and there's our 4K 60 thing here, and it's switching those, right? It's showing them, and the output is over here. So the output of that same computer is coming out over here, and it's coming into our decoder, which is feeding into the monitor. So we're showing hardware encoding, hardware decoding, we're showing SMPTE 2110, we're showing IPMX, all working together in one system. And what's really critical about this, I can show you all the parts and pieces, but if you think about AV over IP as it's typically been imagined in the market, it's a hardware thing, it's not a software thing, so you got to sell the boxes. And the second thing is it's really a presentation thing, right? So if you think about how they work, generally everybody's thinking about, how do I replace HD-based T, or how do I replace HDMI, right? Well, with IPMX, because its origins come from broadcast and because it's been extended to support all the things needed in Pro AV, it's equally comfortable in both. So here we are going from a Pro AV source, just a computer, and we're coming into OBS, which is a live production switching, sort of a broadcasty thing, and we're mixing it in with broadcast stuff, and it's just at home in either scenario. This is 4K 60 444 video. Totally not something that you would see in a SMPTE 2110 system, but here we're blending it together. We're not doing any special conversions, we're not adding costs, we're not adding latency, and it's all working together as one system as you'd want it to. So that was kind of our vision there. You think about huddle rooms, right? Well, a huddle room is where you go in and give a presentation, but maybe it's also where you're contributing into a live company event that's being switched by a raw switcher. That's all SMPTE 2110, right? That's the vision. That's what we want to see. We want to see one control plane, one format for video on the network, and we're showing off both our hardware solutions. Right here, this is the MPA 1000, which is a module, which on that module there's an ME10, and that ME10 is an SoC that's accelerating IPMX for real low power devices or low cost devices. In fact, right here, you can see we have our reference design. This is a gateway. We wanted to make a box, what is the heart of the market, right? And that is usually a gateway, right? And it needs to check the boxes, right? It's got to have USB support for KVM usage. It's got to do 4K 60 444 over a 1 gig connection, and it's got to look visually perfect with subframe latency. So we made a little reference design that does exactly that, and our manufacturers, our ODMs, our OEMs that are working with us are taking this design and they're able to see, oh, that's that's IPMX, that's the full stack, that's working. It even includes a web interface, everything you'd expect to see in a real product right in this box. So we're just trying everything we can to give developers not only the vision but the tools also to execute their vision for the products they want to make.
So how do we take content and bring it into a gaming engine with what you guys have for a solution?
Yeah, I kind of skipped over that part, right? So we're doing all this stuff and we're making it easier for developers. The specific way it works is, not only are you able to control, but you're able to get the buffer, get the actual video and audio from the IPMX system and process it, right? So we've developed an SDK called M2S that augments our regular SMT2110 IPMX SDK to actually give you buffer access into it. And that's actually how we're doing it with OBS here. And we're just adding the plugins for Unity and Unreal. I always forget the second one. So yeah, so M2S is, and that's a separate library that we provide. So to recap, we've got the MPA1000 module, we've got the ME10 chip, we've got the M2S SDK for software implementations, and another thing I didn't even mention, I can't believe it, is that we have a long history of very mature and in use all over the world ST2110 IP as well, which will also be IPMX compatible. So for customers that want to take their FPGA and they want to put our design or our IP on there for ST2110 and IPMX acceleration, we offer that as well.
That's fantastic. It's Unreal, and what's the other one again?
Yeah, don't do that.
Just kidding. Well, thank you very much. I think this has been great. I think the product solution is fantastic. I hope you have a great rest of your show. The traffic continues to get busy behind us. So I am Tobi Tungl with AVNation Media. If you want to check out more of what we're doing at Infocomm, head over to avnation.tv.